Okay, I'd like to welcome you all here tonight. We're just a couple of minutes away from beginning our meeting. Before we begin, I'd invite you to stand and join me in the pledge, and then Kathy J. Cox will bring the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
of
States
the United States of America,
to the republic
to the republic for which it
one
stands,
nation,
one
under
nation,
God,
under God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Leadership requires two virtues that seem very simple until they become inconvenient: honesty and courage. All of us have earned the right to be here today by winning the trust of the people of Springdale. Along with that honor comes the duty of humility, integrity, and public service. So, let's settle our hearts for just a moment in prayer. God of justice and mercy, thank you for the gift of life and the opportunity to serve the people of Springdale. Help us to act with character and conviction. Help us to listen with understanding and goodwill. Help us to speak with clarity and restraint. Give us a spirit of service. Remind us that we are stewards of your authority. Guide us to be the leaders your people need. Help us to see the humanity and dignity of those who disagree with us, and to treat all persons, no matter how weak or poor, with the reverence your creation deserves. And finally, Father, renew us with the strength of your presence and the joy of helping to build a community worthy of us. We ask this as your sons and daughters, confident in your goodness and love. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
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 Thank you, Kathy. All right. If for anybody in the room, I think we do have some large print agendas available, do we not? Yes, Wyman's holding them up over there. If anyone needs one. And I'll call to order this regular meeting of the Springdale City Council. This is Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020. And I'll ask our city clerk, Denise Pierce, to call the roll.
Mayor Sprouse.
Here.
Amelia Williams.
Here.
Jeff Watson.
Here.
Mike Overton.
Here.
Jim Reed.
Here.
Mike Lawson.
Here.
Rick Evans.
Here.
Brian Powell. Kathy J. Cox.
Here.
Ernest Case.
Here. All right, thank you. This is the portion of the meeting, this is item 4, portion of the meeting that the council sets aside at each regular meeting to hear comments from our citizens. If we have any residents that would like to address the council, we ask that you come to the microphone, clearly state your name and address, and please keep your comments brief, understanding that the council won't take action tonight on anything that you bring forward. Is there anyone that would like to address the council concerning something that is not on tonight's agenda? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to item 5, approval of minutes. I'd entertain a motion to approve them as presented if there are no changes.
So moved.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Procedural motions, item 6. What's your pleasure, council?
Move for A.
Move for A and B.
I think Kathy beat you to it,
It's
Jim.
all right. Second.
It's all right, I'll second it then.
All right, good deal. All right, roll call, please.
Williams.
Yes.
Watson.
Yes.
Overton.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Lawson.
Yes, ma'am.
Evans.
Yes, ma'am.
Powell.
Yes.
J. Cox.
Yes.
Carries 8-0.
All right, thank you. I'm going to turn item 7 to start off over to our Finance Committee Chair, Jeff Watson, for our Finance Committee report.
Thank you, Mayor. As you know, for approximately 2 months now, the council has been working on the budget for 2021, and your office had worked on it for many months before that, and we appreciate that. We also have extended this to the second meeting of December, which is unusual. In fact, I'm not sure I can remember having a second meeting in December, at least not in a long, long time. So I'd like to thank all the department heads that are here tonight for that as well. The first item on our agenda from the Finance Committee is the 7A. It's the resolution to approve the budget for the year 2021, and the title to that resolution is a resolution approving the City of Springdale, Arkansas budget for the year 2021.
All right. Before we entertain a motion, let me I may ask Chief Peters for your help. I received an email this morning from Chief Peters concerning something, Brian, you've asked about a couple of times, the Washington County's request for how much they're going to ask each city to pay, and it's a per capita but it's dropped drastically. We put the same number in it as this year's budget of 190,000, and
Mayor, you're talking about the jail.
I'm talking about the jail, I'm
I
sorry.
don't think you were clear on that.
Okay, I'm talking about the jail. And I think the number you got, Chief Peters, that they have proposed the sheriff's proposed in his budget is 77,000 something?
Yeah, I was looking for the email. It's
Okay.
77, a little over $77,000.
So we're talking about $113,000 difference almost.
From what I was told is that they budget for the difference, their operating expenses and the dedicated tax to support the jail. And it's quite a bit lower due to COVID, and their expenses are way down.
Okay? So if anyone is prepared to make a motion, I would entertain a motion that reduction could be, since it's a specific amount. The only caveat to that is Washington County hasn't passed their budget yet. So, I mean, that could be subject to change, but I
Mayor,
don't.
I'd move
I don't think it
to
would.
amend the budget that's been presented tonight to lower the allocation for the county jail as
To that amount.
to the numbers that the chief just
Okay,
stated.
77,000 and some dollars.
I found the email. It's $77,401.
Okay, so do we need a separate motion to amend?
Well, is that a motion?
Or is that a
with
motion to
change?
approve with that change?
Is that a motion to approve the budget with that change included, or is it just motion to make that change?
Or do we have other,
Everything else has been, that I'm
will you
proposing has
speak to
been.
those, were there some other changes that you made, or did you get those in there?
Yes, the planning commission salaries and the sheets that Laura replaced,
Okay.
that were the changes that you all and we all outlined
Okay.
together.
So
So
I'll
those are
make-
the changes.
So I'll make the motion to approve the budget with the amendment to the allocation to the jail.
Okay?
Second.
We have a motion, and I think Lawson beat you to the second, Jim. By the way, you're
That's
just a split
not the
second
first
behind.
time.
You're the first time we did the Pledge of Allegiance in rounds that I can remember. So, but anyway, kind of like singing at Arvest Ballpark. It comes back at you. But thank you, Jim. Okay. What other discussion do we have before I call for the vote?
So let me get this straight. This number that Chief gave us is the sheriff's proposal for the
Yes.
budget, but
That's-
it's not approved yet.
It's not approved yet, but honestly, we're going to get that number every year, Brian, before it gets approved, because they're
Okay.
supposed to give it to us in the summer. And they
Right.
didn't give us a number this year. That's why we just plugged in this year's number.
Well, the way Washington County kind of has been dealing with this throughout the past year, I was just a little bit
If
shocked it came down like that.
if something changes, if y'all approve this tonight and something changes, we'll come back and address it if we have to. I mean, we'll just do it that way.
Okay.
But I doubt that's, we know that's the number the sheriff
I
requested.
misspoke. This is the number that the county judge has proposed. This email's from the county judge. It was just forwarded from the sheriff
Which
to me.
is based upon the sheriff's numbers, so.
What's that number again?
77,410, I think.
$77,401.81.
And the original budget showed 190, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. All right, any further discussion?
I would like to make a motion to suspend the positions, the 11 open positions at the library. I believe it's 11, off the budget until they're open back up and they're needed.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check with Robert's rules here, because we have a motion. Would Jeff have to change his, if there's a second for, okay, Amelia, if there's a second for your motion, then we can vote on that. Okay. Okay, not hearing one. Anything else, anyone? All right, Denise?
Watson,
Yes.
Overton,
No.
Reed,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Evans,
Yes, ma'am.
Howe,
Yes.
Jaycox,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Carries 7-1.
Okay.
Mayor, as part of the budget process, we are also required by state law to pass an ordinance to establish salaries of elected officials. That's item 7B. Were we ready to move on? I'm sorry.
Yes, I just wanted to point out one thing about that, in case y'all hadn't noticed. Originally, we had included in that ordinance to allow me to move money within a department from one line item to another, as long as it didn't touch salaries, and I've taken that out. So that's,
You're talking about 7B
I'm talking about 7B, and in that ordinance, I believe it
on the
is.
elected officials?
Yes. It was in the original ordinance, and I took it out. I figured with all the issues we had this year, I'd just soon not try and tackle that this year. So it could be brought back at another time if y'all want to. Okay?
So on item 7B, the title to the ordinance is, an ordinance setting the salaries of the elected officials and planning commission members of Springdale, Arkansas, and repealing ordinance number 5442.
Move the ordinance pass.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance. Council, any more comment on that? I've got someone in the room that would like to address it. Yes, sir. Please come up and state your name and address, and then you're welcome to, you want to speak on this issue?
Yes, I was wondering, is there room for public comment before the decision is to be voted on?
Well, we had public comment. If you want to speak on this issue, on the salaries for elected officials, then this is the time for you to make that comment.
I was waiting for a time for public comment from what you all just voted on.
He's talking about the
Are you
budget,
talking about the budget?
I guess.
Yeah, we've already
Yes.
approved the budget.
I had some questions for that.
Okay, you're welcome to call my office, and we'll discuss any questions you've got.
Can I ask my questions tonight?
It's already been approved.
There was no notice of public comment as I walked into the room, and as council member brought up the issue, I was waiting for a public comment notice.
All right, go ahead with your comment.
So my question was specifically to Amelia as well as the rest of the council. I'd like to know the number of cases in our school district of students who have contracted COVID-19.
That really has nothing to do with our budget.
I don't know that.
That really has nothing to do
You
with our
don't know
budget.
that? Okay. I'd like to know the number of deaths that have occurred within our district, within the students.
Again, that has nothing to do with our budget. Do you have a question concerning the resolution or the resolution of passing the budget?
I'm not finished. I would just like to answer.
Well, you may be. Go ahead.
I have a right to speak. So I asked those questions because I read the article about the proposal to take away the money from our library.
Yes, and that did not pass.
And what did y'all just pass just now?
Say that one more time, I'm sorry.
You said that did not pass. Well, what did y'all just vote on?
We voted on the budget that I proposed with the amendments that were outlined. But the cuts to the library were not included in that.
So the library will be staying open?
The library will be staying open as it is, and at the proper time, it will open fully. When we feel it, when the library and we all feel it's safe to do so.
That's my confusion right now. I'm sorry. So
Okay.
I read that was to be voted on tonight, whether or not the library would be, as it has been by appointment or mandated to be fully open. Has it been voted on to be fully open or allowed to stay the same?
It will continue as it has been.
It's not an issue to be voted on.
Right. That's something that is decided administratively with the direction of the library board, the library director, and me, and that was not part of the budget.
Okay, I also just had some questions about what I read. Amelia, you proposed that, so what?
I don't think that's, any of that's relevant now. That issue has gone. None of the things that you are talking about that you read in the paper passed as part of the budget. Okay?
Thank you,
Okay.
Thank you very much.
thank
I
you.
don't have to go right through.
All right. All right, thank you very much. And I think if there are no other comments, we're ready to vote on the ordinance.
Overton,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Evans.
Yes, ma'am.
Powell,
Yes.
Jaycox.
Yes.
Williams,
I think she got knocked off.
Watson,
Yes.
Go ahead and call the rest of the roll, and we'll try and get Amelia back.
You have the requisite votes for it to pass. There
There she is.
There you are, Amelia. Sorry, we
Okay.
lost you for a minute. We're voting
That's
on the,
okay.
yeah, we're voting on the ordinance for salaries.
Yes.
Thank you.
Carries 8-0. It has an emergency clause. Make it go into effect January 1st.
I'll move the emergency clause pass.
Second.
Reed,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Evans.
Yes, ma'am.
Powell,
Yes.
Jaycox,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes. Carries 8-0.
All right, Jeff.
So item 7C is not an item that our Finance Committee discussed, so I'll let you talk on that, Mayor. But
Okay.
the title to the resolution is a resolution authorizing payment of an invoice project number 18BPC1.
Okay, this is, as you all know, this is something we do pretty often right now with these large projects going on. This is for the criminal justice complex, and it is an invoice of over $1 million, and we're required to bring that to council for payment, that invoice to council. We got it in plenty of time to be on the agenda, so that's why it's before you tonight.
Move the resolution pass.
Second. And I'd like to make a quick comment. I do appreciate the fact, even though I won't be here in the future, that the invoice came in time to get on the agenda. It wasn't presented at the last minute. So thank you, Mayor.
Welcome, you're very welcome. Okay, Denise.
Lawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Evans,
Yes, ma'am.
Powell,
Yes.
Jaycox.
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Carries 8-0 on the last.
All right, thank you. I'm going to, Amelia, with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and turn the item 8 over to Ernest to discuss.
Sure.
Okay?
Yes.
All right, Ernest.
This is an ordinance authorizing the city clerk to file a cleanup lien for the removal of overgrown brush and debris on property located within the city of Springdale, Arkansas. Properties located at 1181B Wilson, 1901 Powell Street, and 1205 Crutcher.
I'll move the ordinance.
Move the
pass.
ordinance pass.
Give
Second.
that one to Kathy.
Doesn't make any difference.
Jim, you can second that if you want to.
I did.
Okay,
Second.
all right. Anyone in the audience need to speak to this one? Okay, this is a property we're all familiar with, for sure. All right.
Evans,
Yes, ma'am.
Powell,
Yes.
Jaycox,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Move the emergency clause pass.
Second.
Powell,
Yes.
Jaycox,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Evans,
Yes, ma'am. Both the ordinance emergency clause carry 8-0.
All right, council, I'm going to take a privilege and start the comments tonight. And then I know many of you may want to come in on that also. First of all, I want to go back to our budget. Mike Lawson, I think, you know, we had Laura work on this and show that front page differently, where it's a little easier to understand. And I know you all appreciate that. And Mike's the one that contacted us and asked us to do that. So I kudos to Mike, and we've been trying to figure out a better way to do it. And thanks to Laura for her flexibility and trying to help us, and Wyman too. But Mike, appreciate that. I know that made it a lot better, and I think our future council will thank you too as they come on.
Real quick, I'll just echo what Jeff said. I know it took a couple of weeks longer, but I appreciate everybody's patience and us working through it. I know we like to get it through quickly, and it's a little longer this time, but I do think it's a lot simpler, and it's worked out for the
Yeah,
best.
and we'll try and get it sooner. We had some, with Bethel Heights and COVID and all those things, we had some extra challenges this year, and it was down to the wire getting it to you. I recognize that, so thank you all for all your work. I want to say a few words just about two council members this is their last meeting. Rick Evans, Kathy Jaycox, did y'all both come on at the same time 22 years ago?
Jim's leading too. Jim Reed is leading too.
Jim, we've already kind of, hey, Jim, I don't want to slide you.
hung up on
You've
me.
already kind of retired once. It's like Beaver Cleaver telling everybody he's moving and getting a bunch of gifts and then not moving. But you have, Jim, I know the council wants to thank you, and the residents of Springdale should thank you for coming out of retirement to help us for this several months after Colby resigned from the council. And so thank you very much. I do want to mention to Kathy and Rick, we didn't want to rush something and not do it right, so we're gonna ask both of you at a later date after the first of the year to come back so we can thank you all more appropriately, okay? But just for tonight, I want to say thank you, and thank you too, Jim. We really appreciate it, and we've had a good year, and for as long as y'all have been on there, we're losing a lot of knowledge. We're left with Overton and Watson as the longest serving members now, and but bringing on 3 new council members, and that's something we haven't done in a long time. So, but I know they're fast learners, and they've all been through orientation and doing a great job. So they'll be great. Let's and now I'll open it up for any other comments. Yes, sir.
22 years and 1 month ago, I was elected along with 5 other council people. 2 of them are leaving us tonight. So we had 6 out of 8 that came on with a new mayor. We had a new mayor and 6 new council people. And I would like to say that it's been a total privilege and an honor to have served with Rick and Kathy for these last 22 years. They have been totally dedicated, and the great servants and representatives of our city, and the city has been bettered because of them and their work. And I'm just very thankful that they gave us 22 years of their lives. And not only have they been good representatives and good council people, they've been good friends. So we are definitely going to miss them.
Great.
Thanks,
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. And we'll see y'all
Mayor?
again. Yes.
I would like to say, first of all, thank you to the council and to you for the privilege of serving our citizens again. I'm glad I was able to do it. I hate the reason I was able to do it, because I can't travel, but I do appreciate it. I do want to say also, though, to Rick and Kathy, it's been great serving with y'all. Thank you for everything you've done for our citizens.
Yeah.
And I would also like to say for everybody, Springdale and all you, to have a Merry Christ-filled Christmas.
Amen. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that
Thank
very
you.
much. I have no more comments. Ernest, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'd like to chime in on these two as well. I've been with the city 22 years as well, and you all have both been here the whole time, so it's going to be kind of odd not to look over and see both of you here. Rick actually pulled double duty for a number of years. He served on planning commission as well as serving on the city council, so he actually pulled double duty for a number of years. So It's been an honor to work with both of y'all. You were always good about picking up the phone and calling if you had a question. If I didn't know the answer, I'd find out and get back with you. And I hope that doesn't change. Just because you're not on the council anymore doesn't mean that you're not still citizens of this great city. So don't be a stranger, and if we can ever help you, let us know. Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll be happy to plug you in, either of you, and Jim, you too. If there's an area you'd like to serve, well, we would love to have you.
Well,
we'll
and I would
make
just
that
like
work.
to say what a privilege it has been to serve the city and watch it grow. And every one of you, this entire city, department heads, police, fire, just city attorney, didn't mean to leave you out, just an amazing city we live in. And I have been honored to have been part of it.
Good. Thank you.
Kind of the same way, being on 22 years on this council, and it was 6 years on planning commission along with that. So, but I'll probably say more when we come back, so.
All
But
right.
it's been great working with everybody.
Good. Well, we're sure going to bring y'all back and do it right, okay? So thank you. And so I'd wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And anybody got anything else before we
Yes.
go? Motion to
Get you,
adjourn?
shut up. Be adjourned.
I can always count on you. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.